Hello, everyone. Good afternoon, and welcome to TLC's Webinar Wednesday. My name is Ria Stark, and I don't know about you all, but it is starting to feel like summer where I am. The sun is out, the temperatures are nice, and it will be here before we all know it. However, before it gets to be summer and all the kiddos are out of school, we have some end-of-year reports that we would like to recommend for our school librarians and our media specialists. So thank you all for joining us today. This webinar is being recorded, and if you would like to rewatch it or share it with your colleagues, it will be available starting tomorrow on our website. That's tlcdelivers.com/webinars. And for those of you folks who are joining us live, we very much appreciate that. We want you to take advantage of it. So if you have any questions throughout this presentation, please ask those in the Q&A widget at the bottom of your screen, and we will get those at the end of the webinar. Our panelist today is one of our newer members to the TLC family, but an experienced rep in the library industry, and we are glad to have him here. Steve Mackey, welcome to Webinar Wednesday.
Thank you so much. Thank you all for taking time out of your busy day and a busy week and the busiest month of the school year. So we hope we've got some good information for you to share. I'll go ahead and start the presentation here. We wanted to focus on reports that are helpful to clean up your collection, do some housekeeping, at the end of the year. These are applicable for districts using any integrated library system. But of course, being here at the Library Corporation, we're going to use our LS2 reports as the examples. If you have any questions about migrating to the library.solution for schools, be sure to reach out. And then I also wanted to highlight some of the things that our training team are doing for our customers. They actually have a series for end of year refresher trainings from the training team. You can find more information about that on our LS community page, and be sure to navigate to the section in LS community that is just for our school customers. Having said that, let's dive into a little bit about reports that we've got for end of the year. Our first report we'd like to talk about is the borrowers and items checked out by responsible parties. This is a report that you can run that gives you lots of selection that aggregates it by responsible party. And what we say, responsible party, that's not a guardian. It's typically a homeroom teacher for a group of students that is arranged by how your students attend your library, visit your library in a group. As I mentioned, it's normally by homeroom teacher, and it allows you to see all of the items for those students at the homeroom level. So that makes it real easy for you to whip out this report before students come into the library. So I'm going to tab over really quick to show you our landing page for LS2 reports. This is our reporting engine that we have partnered with IBM as the main engine for our reporting engine. So what we have is easy quick launch. Again, a link directly to LS2 community.
Wrong. Please try again.
It allows you to prepare data and actually create your own reports if you have a report author. I'm going to shrink that quick launch, focus down here. If you are an LS2 customer, don't fret if your screen doesn't look exactly the same. Lots of customization ability within the LS2 reports to help you navigate in a way that makes sense to you. Before we look at a report, I will point out up here, don't be overwhelmed with the number of reports that are available at your fingertips. We deliver nearly 300 reports to our customers, but we make it very easy for you to search the content. Also includes the ability to search the metadata in a particular report. So if I wanted to come up here and search for non-filing, that gives me a suggestion to make it super easy for you to find the reports that you would like to run. In the interest of time, I have queued up the reports that we want to talk about today. So we'll take a first look at the borrowers and items checked out by responsible parties. This gives you an idea of the selectors that you have for the report. You can run it for any of the schools that are listed in the district. You can select all, or you can drill down into the type of borrower types that you would specifically like to run for this report. We can select all items out or only overdue items. In this case, we want to do all items out because we'd encourage all of our students to get those returned before the end of the year. We have an option to display the borrower ID, whether or not we want to display the borrower cost. And then we also want to display the book jacket, yes or no. Why do we include the book jacket in some of these reports? It's very easy for students and adults alike to see a visual representation of the item and go, oh yeah, I left that book in the car or on the side of my bedstand. And then also, secondly, we are maximizing your investment with the synthetic subscription. We want to use that content in ways that make sense to serve your community. So what we can do is we click the finish button, and I will highlight this report over here in another tab through the magic of demo. And we see the static report. So we have our teacher, Vanessa Perez, at the top, and then each of her students, again, typically in a homeroom class that may be visiting your library at one time. Or you could drop off this part of the report to Vanessa, and then she can work with her students to see those items with images to help you get all of your materials back before the end of the year. Our second report we'll talk about is the activity age and turnover rate by minor classifications. We think this is a really good report to help you with your collection development. Really can show you some gaps that you might have in your collection. And it also helps you get a jump on your new materials ordering for fiscal year. Lots of our school customers have a July to June fiscal year. So at the end of the year, you can go ahead and start preparing your orders with your vendor, so you can press that button on July 2 and get those in your library before the beginning of the year. One of the other things we'll also do is kind of show you how easy it is to output content more than just in a PDF form. So let's take a look here at kind of the PDF output. Or first, let's come over here and let's take our activity aimed. We'll select Brahms. We'll populate those holdings codes. And then if we wanted to drill down into just one section, we could. We want information across all the entire library. And I'm cheating a little bit, and I'm starting with August the 1st, 2020. This is a demo environment, so it doesn't get quite the circulation that you might do in your library. And then we can select our circulation date today. We will finish that report, and some reports are super quick. Some take a little bit more to think, and then you can actually have that report scheduled to come into your inbox when you want. So what we see here, total number of items and numbers of checkouts, in-house use, any renewals. Gives you the average publication year. So you can easily check if maybe 1993 might be a little bit dated for your 210 collection. It'll be easier for you to kind of focus in on those types of subjects. What I also like about this report is at the very end, where do all the fiction and junior fiction go? They also have 810s and 820s generally for literature, but if you have it in classified as F or YF, your information about that part of the circulation will appear there. So really a cool report that kind of shows you the turnover rate and some of those statistics as well. We also have reports that will show you relative usage and a lot of sophisticated collection analysis as you explore our reports module. The next report we have is a value of holdings codes by location. I like this report. You can run this report and share with your leadership the accumulated value of the library that you have there, that you serve your community. And back when I was a system administrator, I would have to run this report in another system that was very laborious, but I had to get that out to our insurance agent for replacement value in case of a disaster. So your admin may be looking for a total amount of the value of your report there. Again, we make these reports super easy for you to run. And this one, all you got to do is select the location. If you were doing it for the entire district, you can select all. In the interest of time, we will pretend to finish, and voila, we'll see. Here, let's run this real quick. And again, very quick. This will be a good example to kind of talk about the different formats that we have. You can output in HTML, Excel data, CSV, or XML. We are a Google Sheets shop, so comma separated value is the best way for us to easily import those into Google Sheets. And then once you're in Google Sheets, you can go in and do lots of cool things that you can color code values, or you can color code rows according to values to make it really easy for your report viewers to see good, not so good, different parts of the report. So value in our demo, we got about $165,000 worth of books. Not too shabby. All right. The next book, the next report is maybe a little bit braggy, but we want to see the most popular books across the system that you have. It's a good collection development tool, maybe to help you add a couple of extra copies across the system of your highest circulating materials. Great resource planning, and then also super easy to cut, copy, and paste an ISBN into your order system to add those. So we'll take a look at system book titles. We can select our date if we wanted it to be the most popular for the last week or the last month. That could be some interesting statistics you could do to encourage reading the more top popular one. I've got this populated for our academic year. We can take a look at the top 100 reports. We'll finish that. I'll show you what this will do. If it's a report that takes a little bit longer time, you can click right there and select a delivery method. This report I already have popped up, again, through the magic of our demo, and we can see the top titles. So real easy to see the title, the author, and then if we want to make an order for another copy, again, just copy that, paste that into another tab for your book vendors portal, and then it's easily added to your order. I just thought you could download this as a CSV and maybe load up the entire thing if you wanted to. The world is your oyster with these reports. Okay, so we are moving right along. We'll take a look at a housekeeping cataloging report. That's one of my favorites. I was a system administrator and part-time cataloger back when I worked in libraries, and I would have loved to have had a report like this. For those people that do cataloging, we have a report for titles with a potentially incorrect non-filing indicator. And we periodically want to check our bibliographic records because we're always wanting to improve the discoverability of our collection to our users. And having correctly cataloged, make sure that we replace some of those quick records that come from our vendors. It'll help us kind of easily see where these items that need to be reviewed are. And then another pro tip here is our control number is a link to that record. And in LS2 cataloging, you can easily do an advanced search, select control number, and this record comes right up. And literally within seconds, you have corrected and republished that item. So what we have here in oh, okay. So let me come over here. I forgot to bring this up. Let me just search for non-filing, bring that report up. It likes to, there is nothing to select. This searches the entire database of the bibliographic record. And then you can see here where the indicators it might have 0 or it might have some 3. In this first row, of course, that's correct because las is essentially the in Spanish, and you would rather have this title sorted in displays as moscas. Under here, we would probably want to correct El Mago de Oz because it has none, and we'd want that to search by wizard. So we could copy that, paste that into cataloging, and create that sorting title literally within seconds. So those are a quick review. I wanted to give you one bonus view that comes with LS2 reports, and that's our dashboard view. It's really a great tool to see what's going on in your library at any point in time. I love this report. You can do it system-wide. If I wanted to drill down into my high school, click done, it's going to whir and all of it automatically changes for me. We can see information about our borrowers, the number of holds that are available, outstanding fines, items. Again, a quick overview of the collection analysis, your division between physical and electronic, which is increasingly important in this day and age. It can show you the pie chart of where your collection is across all of the holding codes that you have within your library. Item status down here at the bottom, what's available, what's been lost, etc. Super easy to use. CircDesk, again, this is a demo environment. In your busy library, you're going to see lots of fantastic things there. But we can see what holds we have here really at our fingertips at any part of the day or year. You'll use this report every day. With that, let's see. I know we've breezed through that content. Ria, do we have any questions that we may want to answer for our attendees?
Yeah, we did get a couple of questions in, but before I ask those, I'm going to launch a poll. This is what we do at the end of every webinar, which is if you'd like more information. So that'll appear on your screen in just a moment. I'll leave that up for a little while, give folks a chance to respond. And let me switch over here and grab some of those questions that have come in. And if you have a question, please go ahead and add those into the Q&A now, and we'll get to those shortly. All right, the first question is, does TLC offer reports that can be run across the district, or does it have to be based site by site? So I think you showed that in one of your reports. You could select that. You mind showing that again?
Yeah, no. Lots of reports within the system give you the ability to select either an individual location or a system-wide. So if I come over here and take this activity age and I want to rerun this report, if I wanted to do this by the entire district, I select all those. And then I get all of the holding codes for all of the locations. And then I can run this report um, across the entire system. There are some reports that generally are more associated with an individual location, borrowers and items, but you will see as you explore the dashboard, for example, the dashboard, you can do it all locations or system wide. That's report by report basis.
All right, thanks, Steve. We did get another question about whether or not we can write our own reports. And you did talk about custom reports, but would you go into more detail maybe about report authoring?
Yeah, sure. So our standard LS2 reports gives you access to almost 300 reports that are already for you to run and select. So you have the ability to customize those just by making the different selection. If you need to create a report from the ground up, or if you really need to change a report to tweak something, we have a reports authoring license that's 800 bucks a month, or not 800 bucks a year. So not very much more expensive to have a reports authoring license. Anybody within LS2 can log into reports, but we will only allow, if you bought one authoring report, you get one reports author. So with reports authoring, you can then go in there, and I don't want to scare anybody, but we'll bring something up real quick. We can come in and easily start dragging and dropping elements from report to customize this. I will do an easy change and just change that to items. So you've got access with reports authoring to the data schema to be able to build those comprehensive reports. If you are unsure of the ability to create those reports, uh, we can also help you and create a custom report for you. We've worked with lots of customers to, for example, they have a state report that they have to give at the end of the year. And it has to be a particular format. We can create a custom report for you. So there are lots of ways to accomplish that goal.
Thank you. And last question I'm seeing so far, unless someone's writing one right now, is how do I get images in my reports? And are they in all reports?
That's a good
Same goes for
question.
the book jackets.
Yes, for the book jackets. For images, I might have to check with our product manager for reports to see exactly all of the reports that create those images. We've got a good, I want to say half a dozen that give you the option, like we saw in reports, to give you, hold on here, let me bring up a bookmark here. Let's get back with those guys on that for sure, Ria. I know that we deliver about a half a dozen to a dozen that give you the option to do reports. But then let's come back over
Yeah, we
here.
can follow up with that one afterwards.
Right.
Do customers have to have Syndetics though to be able to show it in the one report you did have?
Yeah, if you have to have a synthetic subscription in order for us to take advantage of that content. So that think of that as a value add. You want synthetics to make your discovery layer engaging and engaging for your communities. We give you additional value by putting images and that content in the report. So that's how we'd like you to look at that.
All right. Well, thank you, Steve. That is the last question I saw come in. If you don't mind switching to our last slide on the slide deck, I have a few last announcements. So Webinar Wednesday will be back again in June, but in the meantime, we do have 2 other webinar series running for our current customers. Every other Friday, we have our cataloging webinars, and our training team has just started kicking off with some training webinars too. So for Library.Solution for schools customers, you can get those on LS Community. That's what Steve mentioned at the top of the call for additional information. And reach out to support if you need a login or any different additional information in order to get onto LS Community. We also just recently launched our end of year checklist. So if you liked everything you saw in this report or in this webinar of all those reports, and you want more information or more tips, tools for end of year, let me share that link in the chat as well. So you can be sure to download that. It's over 8 pages. It has a lot of great information for you. All right, that's everything I have. Steve, any final thoughts or words of
Oh,
wisdom?
not at all. Thank you so much. I used to
Absolutely. Thank you,
have
everyone.
yeah, very good. You all have a great afternoon.
We'll see you next time.
Bye bye.